Hey guys, what up? Total Control 871. All throughout the day, all manner of thoughts come across my mind. I do my best to maybe earmark them to discuss them in an episode. I decided to just simply hit record as the thought comes across my mind today. Don't really know how long this episode's going to be. Might be real short, might not be so short. I want to talk about, is COVID-19 setting the stage for a silent American Holocaust? And I don't mean death from COVID-19. Is there an agenda to kill Americans? Now, as I think about these things, like I said, this comes into my head. I'm not saying that I believe in it. I am not assigning any particular degree of veracity to it. It's just something that I consider. Think about, if you will, imagine, if you will, a post-COVID world, a post-COVID struggle. Right now, the deep state is struggling to implement its agenda, its new world order. What if it were to be successful? Where is it all going to go? I have been watching pieces on the chessboard move and jockey into position. Into position to do what? What is the Grandmaster strategist going to do? Where is it all going? Well, let's take a look at what they've done already. Your First Amendment rights have been systematically dismantled, all under the color of public health. You no longer have the right to assemble in mass unless the deep state radical left deem it justifiable. I can't make that any more clear. I seriously cannot. The cherry-picked virulence. This is a super spreader event, and that is not. And of course, the logic behind it is completely batshit crazy. There is no logic behind it. In the comments section, there is no shortage of people saying to me, and not that my feelings are hurt, because you guys know me, I take it, I can take it on the chin with the best of them. If anything, it's the snowflakes that can't take it on the chin when their arguments are systematically dismantled and put into checkmate. I am routinely told when I want to see the bodies, when I want to see incontrovertible proof, you idiot, you're an asshole, you want to see the bodies for what? You honestly think that the government is lying to you? You know, assuming these people are not bots that have been hired by the government to manipulate public opinion. In the comments section, assuming they're not that, then man, you are the government's wet dream, that you're that stupid, that you're willing to surrender your rights without proof. And once these rights have been surrendered, well, what does it mean, you know, in our post-COVID struggle world? Well, number one, you no longer have the right to assemble unless it's deemed justified. And you guys might be thinking that's not a big deal, because after all, we're all on the same side. We're all liberals. We're all hate racism. We all hate this. We all hate that. Da 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 da. Okay. We all hate guns. Let's get rid of guns. Let's get rid of weapons. Da 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 da. Okay. It is just simply public human nature. Human nature that eventually there's going to be disagreement. What was it? Pelosi was out there a few months ago, you know, with all of her news segments. What was it? Ben Franklin saying, "We have a republic if you can hold on to it." kind of ominous words. Kind of lets me know that while the whole thing was being debated upon, 240 years ago, while it was being debated upon and while it was being cooked up, what's going to go into the ingredients of America, what's going to go into it. I guess our founding fathers knew that the end result was not exactly bulletproof democracy. And yeah, I guess that's why Franklin did say, you've got your freedom, assuming you can hold on to it. God help you. You test positive. The modern version of Gestapo and or KGB then descend upon you. Now, maybe you're alerted, maybe you're not. This is in our post-COVID scenario, and in the not too distant future, this dystopian future that I'm describing to you. In your contact trace, number one, they might ask you to hand over your mobile device, maybe, but if they do ask you, it's nothing more than a polite gesture, because quite frankly, by then you don't have a right to your device's privacy any longer. Your contact list, everything is hijacked by the government. And remember, can't turn to big tech. Big tech has become the government by then. Not too far off. Big tech makes policy. Big tech is the not so hidden, not so well hidden shadow government. Our fourth branch of our of our government. Everybody knows it, so it's not so hidden. You have no more Fourth Amendment, so you've lost your First Amendment. Now you've lost your Fourth Amendment, and of course they've taken all the guns, so now you've lost your Second Amendment. Due process, I believe that's under Fifth Amendment, and I think it also speaks to the 13th Amendment. The point, because I'm not even going to pretend to be a constitutional attorney. I'm not one. The point, all they have to do is say the virus. The virus. We're doing this for your own good. The virus. Okay? We're watching our liberal, like I said, our shattered glass Democrats who normally want decriminalization, the jails and prisons emptied. Suddenly we're beginning to see them fill those jails with dissidents like me, people who speak out against them. They will arrest people like our gym owners from Attila's Gym. They will be arrested, quite violently possibly. Again, while protesters, assuming they're willing to deliver the pre-authorized message that our New World Order government has authorized. Prime example of that would be our failed LGBT Pride Month, this just past June. Gay people were forbidden from assembling and going on parade unless they were willing to feature front and center and make Black Lives Matter the crown jewel, if you will, of their parade. No celebration, no nothing, just angry mob. And I guess they were then tolerated. But if they were to actually try and have their regular parade with the same amount of people in the same amount of close proximity that they would with a protest riot, then that, of course, would be descended upon by the police and you're hauled off to your jail. Getting back to testing positive. Number one, is the test very accurate? That's all controlled by your New World Order government. Number two, if you are positive, how long are you going to be contagious, shedding virus? All of this is determined and controlled by the government. Okay? If you've been locked away, okay? Because right now they're saying you can be placed in a facility. I want you to pay very close attention to this contact tracing and the results of it. Corporate media, they don't really want to talk too much about it and draw too much attention to it because they know that it's inherently draconian. Contact trace and then do what? They're willing to talk about contact tracing, but once you find the people and once you seize their data and their contact list, what are you going to do with it? What's going to happen when you encounter people who are not so compliant, not so, if they're not a government lapdog, what are you going to do then? And that's when the conversation gets very awkward. That's when they start hinting at internment camps, basically. That's where I'm going with it all. Internment camps, where you're going to be placed against your will. Again, remember, this is our shattered glass Democrats who used to be pro-liberation, pro-empty the jails, are now going to be creating internment camps and filling them with dissidents like me. How long are you going to be there? Again, that's completely up to the government. I hope you're paying attention. Does this not sound more and more like China, like Russia, like North Korea? Okay? Where people are thrown into jails for completely undetermined amounts of time. Okay, whether you're liberated or not, it would probably have to serve some sort of political agenda. And then what happens if you're not released? We've already said, like I said, I'm focusing on maneuvers that have already been executed on the chessboard. Hope you haven't forgotten. Funerals are illegal. Visiting people in hospitals, illegal. Okay? Everybody, it's all being spun right now with this loving, feel-good element. Oh, look at this husband and wife, and they're connecting on FaceTime, and oh, the grandparents are connecting with kids, and it's all been given this a spit shine of family, love, and endearing qualities. Okay? But you're not paying attention to the bottom line. No, you cannot come see this person in person. We, the government, will control their communications. The government and the healthcare, which is now the government, because you guys wanted your universal healthcare, your government supplied healthcare. I honestly don't think you understood what you were asking for. I seriously don't. Okay? God knows we need affordable health care, but I don't think you understood what you were asking for. So now that nobody can see you and you've been completely sealed off, and there is no release date, because quite frankly, even though you've been quarantined for a month or two, maybe we still deem you to be a threat. Is the virus a threat? Or maybe just the words coming out of your mouth? Maybe that's the threat. The threat Maybe that's why they want you to put the face rag on, to just shove a gag in your mouth. We'll be the ones to let you know what your opinion is and when you can express it. Holocaust. The silent Holocaust. At least the Jews have historical footage of the crematoriums and the gas chambers. But remember, the funerals are not legal anymore. So you can be descended upon by your contact tracers. Okay, whether you want to call them Gestapo or not, you're descended upon and hauled away to a facility. Yeah, I know you were promised hotel rooms, but welcome to the world of the homeless. We get promised hotel rooms all the time. Yeah, but what actually ends up coming to fruition? Very stark, cold, sterile facilities. You're in a fucking jail. And they're never gonna let you out. They can kill you. And who are you gonna tell? Remember, big tech is on their side. You don't have anybody to complain to. You're not allowed to have a platform because you've been labeled hate speech. See, that label is now controlled by the government, controlled by big tech. You have a platform only as long as Silicon Valley allows you to have a platform. And if you're not saying the right things, well then, I don't know. Get your ass outside with cardboard signs, huh? Yeah. Oh, but that's right. Soon that won't even be legal. You know, go ask Hong Kong if holding up signs is legal. Yeah. So they can kill you in these facilities. And of course, your loved ones will simply be told, I'm sorry, but they succumbed to the virus. No, I'm sorry, there won't be any funeral. Nope. You know, for everybody's health, we're going to make that decision for you. Oh, don't worry, we'll send them off in a very loving, touching thing. And I don't know, hey, we'll send you a poster-size portrait, and you can hold your own memorial there in your home. And make sure nobody comes because we're watching. No friends, no family, no visitors. Just sit there and light your candle, say your prayer, blow it out, and then forget all about your loved one. Holocaust complete from beginning to end. No funerals, no visitation, no free speech, no right to assemble, no right to bear a weapon to defend yourself. Suddenly, are you paying attention? You are very rapidly going into a world full of no. That's what you'll be voting for this November. Endless no. Endless government control. They're going to be the ones to tell you when. You know, everybody's embracing China all of a sudden. You know, they've got a one-child policy. I know I'm not going to get off into people's junks and shit again. I've spoke enough about that. But I am telling you, they do have the one-child policy Or is it still in effect? I don't know. If it isn't, then they can reactivate it whenever they want to. So are you ready for forced sterilization? If you've already had your one child. All right, you guys seem to think that you're liberal, because I know everybody's in a liberal haze of euphoria right now. Oh my God, everything we've ever wanted, it's just a heart's beat away. Health care and no more draconian police. And I don't know, you can ask not just Chicago, quite a few nations, quite a few states across the nation. Shootings are... Yes, I told you the police would be doing this. They're going to remind you exactly why you need them. And it is fucked up because children like that little girl and that little boy and so many others are going to get gunned down viciously. Black people killing black people. That's not to say that the issue of police brutality should never have been addressed. It should have, and it should have been addressed in a very here and now, you have to deal with me type way. Action, reaction. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. Well, now you're getting your opposite and equal reaction. The police are scaling back. There's a lot more I could say on that because I spoke about the tendrils. I want to talk about the drug dealers, people who are doing the shooting. Everybody's talked about the decriminalization of the drug addicts. Maybe it's time we start focusing on the drug dealers. God, there's so much there that I want to say. Their psychology. What was it Kanye West said? If every kid had name brand clothing, that would... I'm sorry, there's just too much to say there. The urban black youth mind has been hacked so bad into believing that they have to have these particular things to be of worth. I can't really get into that right now. Like I said, what that whole bewitch analogy, if you had that kind of power, zap up anything, what would you want? Why would you want it? How long would having that kind of power, make you happy? Why wasn't Dora always hanging around Morning Glory Circle? I mean, if you hated Darren so much and that whole mortal life, you sure did hang around an awful lot. I mean, you can go anywhere you want. Why there? Why some small suburban home? Alright, I'm getting off into shit that I don't want to talk about. I hope you guys are paying attention to the moves on the chessboard. Moves that have already been executed and moves that are about to be executed. They've already come for your constitutional rights. Okay? They're taking them away bit by bit, all under the color of public health, and of course, never giving you the incontrovertible proof. They're banking heavily on the sheep down in the comments section, laughing, throwing up the laughing hysterical emojis. You think that they're lying to you? And the county morgues remain empty. The deep state is writing checks that the county morgues can't cash. If people are dying, then why won't you show it? Alright, that's it for now. Total Control, 871.